Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
I don't think the parents are responsible enough to know or that their own kids are doing it.
Concerns tonight after finding out more West Fargo students are smoking weed. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us this evening. 6th through 12th graders in the area take a random anonymous survey related to risky behaviors. Well, one of the questions is if they've ever smoked pot.
The results point to an uptick of kids using marijuana. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Nicole Johnson has more on what's being done about it.
Some teenagers in the metro are calling smoking pot normal or typical. Do you think that there's a lot of marijuana use at your school?
Oh yeah, there are a lot of marijuana use at my school. Like a lot of my classmates will be talking about it, and I know a lot of people do it.
She's right, and there's research to prove it. These are results from students answering questions anonymously, and it's smoking pot that's got administrators most concerned.
One of the things that's important is not to hide the data. I mean, it is what it is. If it is an issue, it's something that we have to come together and recognize as a community and make that information known to the community.
But administrators say it's not just a West Fargo problem, it's a Fargo problem, a Moorhead problem, and a community problem.
They're not sitting in class using drugs and like it's happening outside of our building. So we will do whatever we can to educate, but the behaviors happen when they're off campus. And so having those candid conversations with our community agencies and our families about the look-fors and the signs.
Parents need to realize that it is still illegal to possess and consume marijuana. Look for the signs that their children are smoking marijuana, such as the odor of marijuana, paraphernalia associated with it, the use of air fresheners to mask the odor either in their room or in their vehicle.
This student says schools are cracking down, but parents need to step it up.
I don't think the parents are responsible enough to know or that their own kids are doing it if you let your kids get to that point.
Reporting in West Fargo, Nicole Johnson, Valley News Live.
Administrators say the survey has some good news, too. Results show fewer students are being bullied and fewer are struggling with suicidal thoughts.
Fargo police are warning us about a potentially deadly drug called fentanyl. Police say that the drug has been diluted and poured into liquid containers such as nasal sprays and water bottles. The scary part is that the drug is 100 times more potent than heroin and can be very dangerous, possibly fatal to those who come in contact with it. The powder is very fine and can become airborne very easily. It can also be absorbed through the skin. Now, we invite you to tune in tonight to Valley News Live 10 at 10. We dig into exactly what this drug is and how common it is here in the Valley.
We saw the sun today, and it was rather warm with temps near 60. A great way to start the weekend. Let's head over to Hutch Johnson to see what tonight will look like. Hutch?
Thanks so much, Andrea. Looking over the sky cam, there are hardly any clouds to be worried about across much of the valley, and temperatures for most of us are in the low to mid 60s. It is subtly cooler in South Dakota as there's more clouds there, and cooler as well in the Roseau and Lake of the Woods counties areas. Not cold enough for snow like our neighbors in Colorado are experiencing. 4 to 5 inches reported in the Denver area. For this evening, we'll cool off into the 50s for most of it. Northeast winds quite light, around 10 miles per hour. Grand Forks in the 50s as well for the next couple of hours before succumbing to the 40s. Fergus Falls, well, looks like it ought to be pretty nice there as well. I'll have details of what you can expect through the weekend and beyond here in a couple of moments.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
There's a new mosque being built in the middle of Lakes Country, in Pelican Rapids, in fact, and it's partly because the Muslim community continues to grow in that area.
Valley News Team's Bradford Eric went to Lakes Country to look into what's making it such a culturally diverse city.
This building here behind me off County Road 9 in Pelican Rapids could soon become the largest mosque in the state of Minnesota. It was the old bowling center. Now it's a space simply available for rent, and the Islamic Society of Fargo Moorhead is involved. Officials with the Islamic Society say when the Fargo Mosque was being built, the worshippers in Pelican offered up their money and labor. Now they say they're simply returning the favor. The Islamic Society says the population of Muslims in the Pelican Rapids area is heavily dependent on the factory, and that's why it's in their name. If the population shifts, they can make arrangements.
In the last 10 years, it has grown by a lot, actually the last 20 years.
Julie Morgan is the outreach coordinator at the Welcome Place, a walk-in center offering help for anyone and everyone. She says the minority populations of Pelican have continued increasing for decades, and many people are actually second and third generation.
And lately, it's been the Somalian population. So each one with different needs, different cultures, and we kind of have to ebb and flow in Pelican Rapids to adjust to the needs of each of these communities.
The Islamic Society of Fargo Moorhead says they hope the new worship center is open by the beginning of June. Bradford Eric, Valley News Live.
40% of the students in Pelican Rapids schools don't speak English at home. We have put more information about Pelican Rapids and the new Mosque project online. Just visit valleynewslive.com and click on this story.
A warning for people who sleep in awkward positions. Don't. Sam Sandoval, a college student, went to sleep one night last month in an armchair. He woke up, but his hand was still asleep, and after a few minutes, it didn't wake up. He's suffering from radial neuropathy, commonly referred to as Saturday night palsy, according to Sanford health neurologist Dr. Zhao Xin Lu.
Radial neuropathy is a condition that damages the radial nerve. And the radial nerve is a nerve in the back of our arm, extends through the whole arm, and it controls our extension of the elbow, wrist, and finger.
Dr. Liu adds the time it takes for a person to heal from this injury ranges from weeks to months, but he stresses the importance of getting yourself checked out if you wake up and think something is wrong.
A new one-of-a-kind clinic for treating people addicted to painkillers will be opening up in the Northern Valley next week. The goal of the Thief River Integrative Medicine Clinic is to provide a proven drug that makes kicking the habit much more successful. Next Tuesday, Dr. Rittenauer will open the doors of the Integrative Medicine Clinic in downtown Thief River. He'll be the only doctor around this region administering Suboxone. It's a drug used to ease painkiller addicts off the drug by easing their cravings for it.
And if they use it according to how we prescribe it and that they're in treatment, getting counseling, etc., the success rates are very high.
Okay.
And so that's one reason I like the idea of using it in helping individuals who are having trouble with it.
Dr. Rittenauer expects to fill up quickly as many people will start driving long distances for his services and the privacy his clinic will start providing next week. If you would like to learn more about all of this, or if you'd like to have a confidential consultation, you can call Dr. Rittenauer at 218-683-5118.
Getting a driver's license as a teen was once about as big as graduating from high school, but new studies show that young people are increasingly less interested in driving or even owning a car. That didn't stop students at Ben Franklin Middle School in Fargo today from taking a look at career opportunities that may put them behind the wheel. More than 200 seventh graders learned about careers involving wheels and the types of skills and education it takes to land a wheel-oriented job. Now, this is the first of 3 such opportunities for Fargo Middle School students before classes end for the year. Students at Carl Ben and Discovery will also get hands-on exposure to careers involving wheels.
May Day baskets were always fun to get when you were a kid, yes. Right? Still are. So later on Valley News Live at 6, a twist is added to this tradition.
Beautiful conditions to close out the work week with temperatures soaring into the 60s. And if you missed the sunrise, it was beautiful as well. A beautiful sunset in store. I'll have your hour-by-hour forecast for the weekend ahead.